Our keynote speaker, Kim Fields.
Nice, Jacksonville! Let's go, Jacksonville! Get up, come on, Jacksonville, let's go now. Let's go, it's sunshine outside, beautiful weather, and it's Jacksonville. Show them how we doing, let me hear you. All right, come on now. No, this is what we do. Let's move, let me see you move. Let me see you move, let's go, Jacksonville, come on now. Come on, don't be scared, don't be shy with it. Let loose, baby. Come on now, come on. I see you moving. Yes, ma'am, let's go. Let's go. I don't care if you got new knees or your original knees. You move them. New hips, old hips, move them jokers. Let's go. We above ground. Hey. All right. Thank you, Jacksonville. Thank you. All right, I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you. Woo, we out in Jacksonville. Beautiful. I don't think I have ever been to your beautiful city. Thank you for having me. Let's give it up for the Ultimate Women's Expo. And give a round of applause to the vendors that are here. All these wonderful vendors. Vendors, I see you. I am one of you. Always a pleasure to be at home on the main stage at a Ultimate Women's Expo. How many of you have been to the Signature Blends by KF booth? Ooh, yes. You got your coffee life right? You did that thing. Well, let's do some housekeeping first and foremost. Keep your phones out. If you don't have it out, get your phones out. So let's make sure you are following me on Insta, Kim Fields Official. That is me on Insta, Kim Fields Official. Anybody else tell you otherwise, they are a liar from the pit of hell. So on Insta, it is Kim Fields Official. All right. On Facebook, I am unleashing a new page and platform on there. It is called KF by Kim Fields. No, Kim Fields by KF. Kim Fields by KF. Okay, so if you are Facebookers and that's your preferred choice of being social, go ahead, and that is my new official platform on Facebook. And once again, if anybody says otherwise, they are a liar from the pit. Happy St. Patrick's Day? It is, isn't it? When I tell you I don't know what day, we just started back to work on the Upshaws. Where my Upshaws fan? Yes. Shout out to my boy Mike Epps. Last night he won an Image Award for Best Actor in a Comedy Series. Yes, we are so very proud of our Upshaws family. Now, next thing, while you still have your phones out, Refresh by KF. Refresh. Come on, branding. Refresh by KF. So that is my wellness platform. That is my wellness brand. How many of y'all like a good road trip? A good road trip? All right. Well, the baby raised her hand. You like a good road trip? So June 7th through the 9th, I am curating and hosting my second wellness retreat. And it is for men and women. It is for men and women. And we have beyond a good old time. And it's wellness, but it's not like eat granola and do yoga for, 72 hours. That ain't my kind of vibe. So it is an amazing 2.5 day, 3 day retreat. at a gorgeous lakeside resort. So please follow Refresh by KF. Refresh by KF. We are also on YouTube with some really great content, interviews, a show I host called Expeditions, where I travel to some really unique spaces and places. So Refresh. Who's into wellness? Who's into just feeling good? Who's into looking good? Who is into just wanting some longevity? Wanting to be here longer and better and just badder. Just badder. Yes, I see you. I see you. So Refresh by KF. We have some really great, what I call refreshing friends, our guest speakers. So follow us for some more information. I just did a date change, and that's why I'm not sending you to the website just yet. So when you follow us, you will get all sorts of information and updates. But I can tell you that the new dates are June 7th through the 9th. So just drive on up. We share a border. Come on up there. Come on up there. June 7th through the 9th. And I promise you, it'll be one of the greatest things you have ever given yourself permission to do. We are all about giving ourselves permission to be well. All right, let's dive in here. Now, we will do some meet and greet and a little Q&A at the booth, Signature Blends by KF. So we will, I promise you, we'll get that done. We'll take some cool pictures that you guys can post as long as you tag me. And we'll go from there. So, whenever I do a women's expo and I do main stage, I always ask God, I always ask the universe, I put the energy out there of, well, what is it that they need to hear? What is it that they want to hear? And what was dropped into my spirit was the following. Shit is still hard. Does that resonate with anybody in this space? If you are under the sound of my voice and you feel shit is still hard, I'm sorry, baby. Stuff is still hard. Who is that for? And if you don't want to raise your hand, but you like, that's me, Kim Fields, but I don't want to raise my hand, we see you too. It's still hard. It's like we got to a certain age or a certain place in our lives, in our careers, and some of it isn't chronological. Some of it is just, we've just been doing things for a minute. Some of us may have started in our career like me very young. Some of us may be of a certain age. Whatever it is, you might just be in your 20s or fresh out of college and going, it's still hard. This thing is still hard. That's why they came up with the phrase, life is lifing. It's still hard. And at some point, you just go, well, wait a minute now. Wait one doggone minute. Why is it still so hard? And we know all the things to say and do to make ourselves feel better. We know the scriptures, we know the girlfriend to call, we know the big brother to call, we know everything we need to do. We know the ice cream flavor we get, we know the snacks to get. We know what we know to make it try to feel better in that moment, to get us to get to the next moment. But life is still lifing. And amen, we above ground to have life. We are still here, like the Who's in Whoville. We are here, we are here. But with being here, sometimes it's hard being here. But we're not gonna lean into the other options. That's what we're not gonna do. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. That's why I started Refresh, so that we had a sense of wellness, so that we understood that life can be very, very hard. Life can be trying and difficult. However, we are here and we get to do this. So sometimes rather than going, why is this happening to me? Why isn't this happening the way that I thought? Why is this happening the way that I never envisioned? The bottom line is, we get to. Norman Lear, the great creator of all sorts of wonderful TV shows, One Day at a Time, Good Times, Facts of Life, Different Strokes, all sorts of great shows, all of your favorite classic TV. Norman Lear wrote an autobiography once, and the title of it was, Even This I Get. Even this I get to, oh Lord, Kim, come on now. Can you look up Norman Lear's autobiography for me, please? I think it's Even This I Get to Experience. But the bottom line is, his perspective was, I get to do this. I get to do this. Even the stuff that doesn't feel great, I get to. Some of you have become caregivers. That's a whole new lane that a lot of you were not prepared for, not trained for, and you feel like, well, I love this person, so that's my training. But that's not all that there is. And so there are things that go on and unfold in this new life of yours, this new lane that you've got to include, whether you anticipated it or not, of caregiving. And so now you're in that space, and you go to that moment of, well, I get to. I remember my godmother, when her mom was transitioning and she was going through it, and she kept saying, I get to do this for my mom. I get to take care of her. And that's beautiful, but not everybody has that perspective. Just keep looking straight ahead. You ain't got to, don't give yourself away. But sometimes you have that moment. And sometimes you have to just kind of reprogram, recalibrate. You've got to renew, you've got to refresh, you've got to reimagine where you are. There's a show on Disney called Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Do you know that show? Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur on Disney? It's a really cool show, actually. And Lawrence Fishburne is one of the executive producers, and it's a really cool show. And I was looking at one of the trailers for it, and it said, the darker the night, the brighter you shined. And I was like, oh, come on and drop that gem, Moon Girl. The darker the night, the brighter you shine. You can write that down, but don't say I said it, because I don't need Disney suing my black tail. No, thank you. But really, the darker the night, the brighter we shine. That's when we really see what we're made of. There are times when you can't find that friend. They out of your ice cream flavor. There are times when your partner, your pastor, your rabbi, your priest, whatever, that nobody is there but just you in what feels like darkness. Just darkness. And yet you still got to function. You got to take care of you. You got to take care of your village. You got to take care of your family, people at work, people where you volunteer, all of that. You still got to do all of that. And somewhere in there is the dreams that you dreamt a long time ago, and you're like, what happened to that dream? Langston Hughes, what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun or fester? Listen, there's dreams back there. Sometimes that darkness in that solitude is maybe a chance not for you to have a pity party, not for you to woe is me, but I get to have this moment right now. Maybe I need to dust off some goals and some dreams. It's not too late, I'm still here. The darker the night, the brighter you shine. You ever turn on a light in a dark room? Now they have the kind where the luminance, it gets brighter as opposed to just bright all at once. So whether you are shining bright right then all at once, hi. Whether you are bright all at once or you slowly growing, you're shining. You are shining. This Sunday, turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, oh neighbor, you're shining. Turn to your other neighbor and say, neighbor, neighbor, you are shining. You're shining, guys. You're shining. You are shining. You are shining. You are an amazing gem. You are a gem. And the thing about gems, gems are not fragile. Gems are stones. They are not fragile, but they must be handled with care. Don't let everybody handle you. Some folks don't know how to handle you with care. You're not fragile, but you're precious. But you're precious. Sir, you're precious. Don't get mishandled. If people don't understand that they got to put on gloves, so to speak, and deal with you in a way that gems are supposed to be dealt with, deuces. I'm strong. I'm not fragile. I'm strong. You're strong and shining and precious and valuable. Not everybody gets access to gems. So in this darkness, if that's where you are in this moment, or some version of darkness every now and then, use that time. Reevaluate. You ever been to a museum and you can get in and see stuff, but there's ropes there? And then there's people, because they know how to handle the value of what that thing is, they can have the access beyond the ropes. Then you have people who are given access behind the scenes, because they have even more knowledge and respect for how to handle that valuable item. Watch who has access. Be mindful of who has access to your value, of your worth. Now don't run around here and don't let me get some posts and comments from folks in Jacksonville. What did you say? These people now that was at that women's expo, they up there acting like they don't stink. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's a confidence, but I am saying we have to be mindful of who has what access. Who has what access to my shine? Who has what access to my light? My light can shine, but who has access to my light, to this gem? Everybody ain't able. Everybody ain't able. Some people may have had access for decades, and now you might have to adjust their credentials. She sees 12 people in her mind right now of whose credentials she's about to adjust. But seriously. And so we have this opportunity right now. We're in the middle of spring. Being beautiful, you're in this beautiful city. You're by water, very cleansing and renewing. Take this opportunity, family. Take this opportunity to up your game of how valuable you are. To reignite that concept of, I am a gem. I am strong. I am powerful. It's not just some shit you put on Instagram. I'm not a huge proponent of fake it till you make it. I understand where it comes from, but if the problem with that to me is if you fake it for too long, then you're just a faker. Then you're just a faker. So at some point, you've got to rework it. and recognize that even in the darkness, I'm going to come out of this and I'm going to shine brighter. Because, and this is the last point I'll bring up, there's no blueprint for your life. There can be people that you admire. There can be people who have been on the similar journey and even the same path, but they are not you. Sir, ma'am, they are not you. How do you do something on the same path, the same journey? We could all, remember the Soul Train line? It was a real basic concept. You just go down the line and you dance. Everybody was there that was doing it, right? But everybody did something different. And even the people who would do the same dance down that aisle, how they would do it was always different, even if it was the same exact dance. So we got to Soul Train this line. We got to Soul Train this thing, okay? So how you do something is going to be different than how somebody else does something. So when you are looking for that inspiration, when you were looking for, well, who's done this before? Hey, guess what? You're a trailblazer. You're a trailblazer. Ain't nobody been you before. There's nobody that's been here that's you before you. I see you. I see you. So understand that even though you can get inspired, you can see inspirational quotes on social media, you can get great insight and information from TikTok, but all that to say, it still ain't you. So there is no blueprint. I was in tears a couple of days ago. Tears. Tears like I had been beaten with a skillet tears. Because I kept two things in my mouth. Why is shit still so hard? And there's no blueprint for my life. That's right, there isn't. So stop looking and be the blueprint. Stop looking. Be the blueprint. Look at your neighbor one last time. Tell him, neighbor, be the blueprint. Turn to the other side. Oh, neighbor, be the blueprint. Be the blueprint. Be the blueprint. Who in here gonna be their own blueprint? Who in here is ready to be the blueprint? Stop looking for it. It's you. It's you. That's why The Wiz and The Wizard of Oz was so powerful. Everything you've been looking for, you've already had it. You've already had it. It's already been there. So now, just go on and do the damn thing. Go on and do it. Get up, 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 get up. Listen, look at yourself and say, hey, you are the blueprint. You are the blueprint. Now meet me over at my booth for some pictures. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later.